Okay, so you just got me today. And today we're going to talk about how to figure out your vision. Hey, Brian, you want to be a part of the show this morning?
Yeah.
Keep your mic hot just in case. You just never know. It's time to dance. Hey, Brian, how's the lighting in here?
It's good.
This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful, best day ever. And for those of you who are new to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, the purpose of the show is for you to provide a safe place for you to go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening friend, will feel empowered to learn a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, if you have any questions today, I want to encourage you to preset it on your phone, because you may have questions for the guest today. The number is 407-373-5959. You need to remember a 3, a 7, a 5, and a 9. 373-5959. And so today, I have some questions for you. Are you feeling stuck or stagnant? Is your life did somebody hand you a life that you weren't expecting? Is it difficult for you to remain focused or have commitment to a relationship? Are there things that you love about your partner, but you know that there's someone else out there for you? Are you kind of feeling stuck? Is everybody more important to you than yourself? So those are some of the questions we're going to talk about today with certified life coach Lillian McDermott. Wait, that is me. You've got me for an hour today. And so we're going to talk about how to get your life and passion back. And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am grateful that I have this opportunity to do just that. I am excited that I'm going to do something on the air that I have not done before. This is my first initial contact with anyone who wants coaching. So I thought, I'm feeling generous. It's so like Thanksgiving almost. And so, or whatever holiday is best for you. Perhaps you're contemplating a new year, which we are. What do you do as you prepare for next year? Are you saying next year is going to be better, or I'm going to do better, or I'm going to eat better, I'm going to exercise more? Are these kind of the thoughts that you're feeling as you leave 2017 and embrace 2018? Everything's better on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side. But once you get to the other side, you realize, if I am unwilling to do the work that I need to do to get what I want, then I'm going to get the same results. Wasn't that Murphy's Law? Isn't that Murphy's Law? Or the Murphy's Law of Insanity, or I don't know how it goes. It says, do the same action again and again, expect a different result. That is the explanation of insanity. Well, today we're going to talk about how we can shift that. identify the things that are perpetual in our life, the things that we keep doing over and over and over again, that we're expecting different result. Will you consider going on this journey with me as we sit with each other? If you're driving now, make sure you keep your eyes open, and make sure that if you can always listen to the show at whenyouneedafriend.com. You can also go to YouTube, because I'll have conversations on and off the air that are being recorded now. You can listen on the radio, on demand. There's so many different ways that if you cannot stop and do this right now, I want to ask you to consider joining me later on, whenever you have time, to truly sit with me and discuss this and be true to yourself. For me, my journey started when I was actually, I have been on a journey my whole life. So have you. We're all on a journey. And I wrote an article called Follow Your Yellow Brick Road. Everybody has a different yellow brick road that we're trying to get to the end, where we believe there's something else that's greater than us that is pulling the strings. The reality is that greater thing that we believe we need to achieve that's outside of us is truly inside of us. And a series of events caused me to go on the radio for a half-hour interview. That half-hour interview turned into a life change for me. Yes, I was always interested in personal growth. Yes, every book I've ever read had some form of personal growth attached to it. Yes, all the answers to that. But my personal growth started about a year after my true, where I'm willing to do whatever it takes to change my life, started about a year after the gift of the show. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about how to create a vision, a plan for your life that we could be, you could be, I can be, everybody can be excited about. And we're going to continue the conversations about how to find your passion and your vision in your life when we return worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. Okay, so fasten your seatbelt, because today we're going to talk about our vision and our plan and our purpose for our life. Many of us go through life without knowing what we want. We know what we don't want, and we focus on what we don't want, but what do we want? And that is so crucial. Yesterday, I'm going to share a story that I'm not going to share on the air, but yesterday, and Brian, I don't know if you want to get involved here. I donated blood, and as a result of donated blood, they hit an artery. And I don't know if you can see it, but I don't know if you can see my arm. But yesterday, I was told that I needed, because my arm is hurting a lot, and I'm feeling some tingling and numbing. So the group that drew the blood asked me to go to a walk-in clinic. The people at the walk-in clinic, the doctor said, you need to leave here right now, and you need to have a CAT scan. You could have a blood clot. You could have so many things that could go wrong. And so I had to go to the emergency room last night. And while I was at the emergency room, I had another doctor say to me, well, you know what? That's just, they really messed up, and you had lots of bleeding, and so that bruise is going to last a long time. Oop, I'm going to tell you this story later. But no matter what, you still need some testing done. Things get planted in our head.
You can text Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407.
I hope you're dancing with me when you're listening to the music.
Once again,
I like this level, Brian. And welcome back to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, where we always learn from one another. And today, I'm going to be part of your journey, part of the teacher that is on. It's not very often, and maybe I am. Maybe I do talk about it all the time. I have no idea. Maybe I am not aware of how I perceive myself. But it's not very often that I talk about being a certified life coach. I might, drop it here and there, but I don't talk about that other side of who I am. Many of us don't talk about the other side of who we are. And so this journey that I was sharing with you, that I went on the show, led me to someone challenging me about food, to go raw vegan for a month. Well, because I embraced challenges head on, I said, bring it. And within 3 or 4 days, I started feeling so good, and I already felt good. I thought I was feeling at optimal, and I did not know what I did not know. So that started a journey. If food can do this, what else can do? And I really started my journey to being responsible for me. It's really easy to focus on the other person, your partner, your children, your friend, and know all the things they need to do to have life that is fulfilling. Are you like that? Are you that kind of friend that can figure out what everybody else needs to do? What about you? What about me? And that's what we miss. Every single one of us misses. And so I started this journey where I said, I really want to learn about me. I was getting closer to 50 and I thought, I owe this to myself. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't want to do it with anybody knows me. I don't want to do it near my town. I don't want to do it in my church. I want to go to a place where nobody knows my name. Not even Norm. They don't know Norm. I just wanted to be me and have a journey back to me. I was a mom, a wife, a worker, going through a lot of things. And when you looked at my life, it looked perfect on the outside. But I tell you, I had a little pinhole in my heart. Or maybe it was my soul. Couldn't have been in my heart because that would be, I would have been bleeding. But a pinhole in my soul. And I knew it. But I was unwilling to look at it. And I'm asking you today, is there a pinhole or a gaping hole in your spirit right now that you are unwilling to look at and you are wanting to fill it up with things that really don't matter, keeping yourself busy with things that really don't matter? You think they do because our ego wants us to get busy and be miserable in our busyness. Do you find yourself at the end of the day or when you're alone, if you could put your hand over your heart right now and say, what is the condition of my heart? Is it crusty? Is it hard? Are there little holes in it? Again, maybe it's not the condition of your heart. Maybe it's the condition of your spirit. Maybe it's the condition of the soul. Whatever you want to call it, listen. Listen, today is about you. Today is about me and how we can return and journey back to who we are. So who are we? So I started my journey and I learned about this journey. The things that I thought I was doing well, perhaps for me they were well. But the moment you start incorporating that into what it will be good for you, part of a life coach is to listen, not to have a prescription or to listen to what you want, what you need. So I started listening to what I wanted and what I needed. And that started my journey that this is so good. I was beginning to find myself after my last child left the house. That was something that I needed to do for myself, is get to know myself. So in this journey that I went on, I learned how that there are different parts of me. So let me tell you the parts of me that are very similar to the parts of you. There is a career, finance, and education part of you. And you may be very successful and have lots of money, but that's just one part of you. Then there is the mind, body, spirit side. There's an emotional connection. Your body, how are you treating your body? And your spirit, what are the things in your bucket list? What are the things that you've always wanted to do, but maybe there's fear involved? Then there are your relationships. Your relationships. What kind of relationships do you want? What kind of relationships need healing in your life? What about you? The relationship you have with yourself is the most important relationship. And when I say the relationship you have with yourself, I believe that our Creator who created it is in me. The Creator who created you is in you. So when you have a better relationship with yourself, or if you want to have a relationship with your creator. The stronger that relationship is, the stronger your relationship is with yourself. And lastly, what is your contribution? What do you want to be remembered as? What is, what do you want to give back? Because we receive so much, right? Some people think, I got nothing. All I get is bills. All I get is kids that are irresponsible. All I get is a boss who doesn't think again. That is what you get when you think of yourself as someone who is ungrateful. So let's be grateful and start giving. Giving from a place of abundance, not a place of lack. So when you have some time, I want to challenge you. I want to encourage you to sit without judgment. The number one cause of disease is unresolved issues in your life. Unresolved. And they could be unresolved from your childhood, unresolved, and they manifest. It's called a cell memory. It will manifest in your body. It'll go to certain areas of your body. They're life centers that are in your body. Some people call them chakras, but they manifest there. So whatever is going on in your life, your body will not allow you to forget what your mind wants to neglect. So there may be some things in your life that you are unwilling or afraid to look at. And I am encouraging you to consider it. But when you consider this, I want to make sure that you consider this without judgment, without feeling guilty, shame, blame, fault, duty. Just love. Just, is that so? No feeling, no attachment. Look at it as a mathematical equation. 2 + 2 = 4. But for many of us, 2 + 2 = 5 or 20 or 10. But when 2 + 2 = 4 and there is no connection emotionally to that 4, you can dig deeper. So I want to encourage you to look at every aspect of who you are. You're not just your career. You're not just, giving everything that you got. You're not just your relationships or you pour yourself into your relationships. You're not just your mind, body, spirit. So every time, every day, do something within those 4 areas of your life and you will start feeling balance. Isn't that interesting? That we get to look at our life in a way like a mathematical equation. No one says, I can't believe it's 4. Nobody gets upset about the number 4. So why would we look at our life and our past that we cannot change and be holding on to that anger, resentment, blame, and shame? So the first thing I do as a coach is I look at every single aspect because I want to figure out what you want. What do you want? Okay, so let's start with your career, finance, and education. You might be brilliant at your career and have and be someone who can go to school and get everything that you're doing. But then again, there are people that feel that they weren't given that chance to a career or finances. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. If that sounds like you, then you are looking at lack. Who are you right now? What are your skills that you can give back to yourself? What are the skills? What are you good at? What do you need to do to hone in on those skills? Notice that every time I will go into a quadrant of who you are, it's about you doing something for yourself. Now, you could be really great at this quadrant and stink at relationships. That doesn't make you that means that we need to focus a little bit more on the relationship, but don't neglect the finances aspect of your life. There are people who are just mind, body, spirit. I am going to do yoga, exercise. I'm going to eat well, but do not have a dime. You still need to be financially responsible. So those are all the things that I want you to look at today. So in career finance education, I want you to ask myself, what do I want? Why don't I have it? And what am I willing to do to achieve it? And pretty much in every single quadrant, you will go through those questions. But first, if anything that keeps coming back at you is, well, my mother wouldn't let me go to school. And in my situation, if I left for school, my parents threatened me, and it wasn't a threat, it's cultural. You're not supposed to be Spanish. Back then, the way I grew up with my parents, not all Spanish people believe this because my cousins grew up totally different. My parents did not encourage me to leave the home and go to college and have that experience. I could blame them for me not finishing my education, but I took what I had and I made the most of it. I own a marketing company and I do a radio show, and I could have said, oh, I don't have the education, but I still did something with what I had. And that's why I want to encourage you. If you're having any issues with blame of why you don't have it, I want to encourage you to go to whenyouneedafriend.com and go to my responsibility page and answer these questions before you can move on. The questions are, how did I create the situation? How did I create it? And this is not about blame, shame, fault, or duty. This is about 2 + 2 = 4, mathematical equation. Well, I was born into the family. That's how I created it. Maybe it's just logical. Then what are the gifts and lessons? I learned that I am more than my education. I learned that I am more than what people expected of me. Then the third question is, now that I know all this, what's going to be different? What am I willing to do to change it? And lastly, how can I use this experience to help others? That's the contribution part of it. So anytime you find yourself that you're stuck in this particular question that somebody else did something to me, then I want to encourage you to start taking 100% responsibility so that you can move forward and say, how can I create the finances, the wealth that I want today? And that's what we're going to continue talking about on the Lillian McDermott Radio Show. We're going to talk about how to find your vision and purpose when we return worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. Okay, Brian, any questions? Do you have anything that you need more clarity on?
No, I mean, I came in halfway, so I was trying to pick up where we were.
Just leave it to you. Just leave it. It's like my own producer, the person who runs my board, can't listen to me. Wait. Now I could.
You're talking about financial responsibility, right?
Yes. Right now I'm on my finances, and so then I'm going to move on to mind, body, spirit later on. But I just want to. It's like a tip of the iceberg where I want people to, be a little thirstier to dig deeper. They can do this with me, or they can do this by themselves. I will make them go deeper. They may not want to go as deep. So that's the benefit of having someone that can be your pile driver. Have you ever seen those trucks, Brian, that they have this like thing in the front and they push the pile of sand to the other side?
Yeah.
That's called the pile driver. And I am the pile driver. I push the sand over to the emotion over to the other side where we can just clear the field. And that's a little bit more what I do when I'm having these coaching sessions with people. So finances is a big deal, and people are focused on lack. I don't got money. I don't got money. This is the cards I was dealt. I don't have an education. But the reality is there are a lot of people that have an education that still don't got money. And that financial conversation is why? Why don't I have money?
Overwhelming student debt.
Okay, what am I willing to do to pay that overwhelming student debt? What am I willing to risk? What am I willing to, what do I need more education? Or do I need to look at how I'm spending my money? Do I eat out all the time? Am I too tired at the end of the day? Can I get another job? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, because I don't ever eat out, and I have 2 jobs.
Okay. So what is the job of your dream?
I don't know. It switches every day.
So maybe that's the problem. Maybe if you figure out what your dream job is and you stick with it, then you can build towards that.
Well, I'm sticking with the current one.
Mm-hmm. And where can you go with
Still
that?
have debt.
Yeah. Yeah. The debt thing is, have you heard of Dave Ramsey?
Yeah, he's coming on December, right?
Yes, he is. He's going to be on the Lillian McDermott radio show, and we're going to do a debt snowball. So perhaps maybe on that show, that'll be one that you may want to listen to 100% because he teaches us how to get rid of our debt, and it's brilliant. My husband Robert and I have been doing. I've been listening to Dave Ramsey now probably for 5 years, and love him. A lot of people have a difficult time in how he delivers his news. But again, if we take away the personal, feelings out of it and just look at it, what is he saying? It's just like I remember when I was younger, I would go to my mom, let's go watch Richard Pryor. My mom goes, no, I can't stand to listen to him. He cusses too much. I'm like, well, don't listen to the cuss words.
Mm-hmm.
Just listen to how funny he is. But that's where I was emotionally. That made sense to me. My mom wasn't there. She was not willing to ignore all the cuss words, but he was funny. But as I got older, I thought, man, he went through a lot of tragedy, and he laughed about it. So depending on where you're at and whatever level you're in, then it'll make more sense and more sense. Oh, keep me honest with the time.
2 seconds.
2 seconds. Okay. So it's okay for you to, there you go. It's time to dance.
Need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here waiting for you.
You can text Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott radio show where we always learn from one another. And today I am teaching a little bit about how I help my clients or anybody I meet. If you need coaching, you can go to my website. I'm offering this for free. There's if you become a subscriber of the Lillian McDermott radio show, I have a 90-day challenge to self-love. If you're feeling depressed and anxious and you can't even, you're like, I don't even want to focus on what I want, what my purpose is, because I can't get out of bed. If those are some of the things, chances are you have forgotten your connection to yourself. That mind, body, spirit connection, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Mind, body, spirit. The closer you become and to be able to learn about yourself, the less anxious you will become. Nutrition plays a key role, and that's part of the body. The body needs good nutrition. You would not put sand in your car and expect your car to function. So what I am encouraging you today to do is if you go to whenyouneedafriend.com, to have this 100% responsibility movement build, I will need for you to become a subscriber. And when you become a subscriber, you get free gifts. And we have people that are sponsors of the show. And I don't know if you see, well, for those of you who see me on YouTube or on Facebook, you'll see that there are like signs behind me. These are some of the sponsors that really have created the show, that have been able to allow me to speak my truth without any intervention because they are like-minded. It is the saddest thing when you know a truth and you're silenced because they are paying for you. No one is paying for the truth that you're getting here. They are like-minded. They are supporting my vision, my purpose. And hopefully through that, you will discover a new truth that will help you live the life of your dreams. Dissolve these limiting beliefs. Go to whenyouneedafriend.com. Please become a subscriber. When you go to whenyouneedafriend.com, you will find my social media, my YouTubes. This show not only is on the air, but off the air, there's conversations that occur. So if you have time and if you want to sit with yourself and me as your coach, then we can do this together, but you can do it on YouTube for free. This is all free. But if you feel that you need a little bit more coaching, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to sit with you and work together to achieve the life that you desire. So go to whenyouneedafriend.com. You can also call or text the show today if you want to, if you have a question that you want me to address on or off the air. I'm more than happy to do that as well. Truly, my desire is to give you what I did not have when I was growing up. When I was a child, if I had a difference of opinion, and this was not ill intention, it was the way I was raised. If I had a difference of opinion, I was made to feel wrong. I don't want you to feel that way anymore. I don't want my children to feel that way. If they have an opinion, and it's backfired on me because, the things that I believe, they don't believe. But that's okay. They will come to their truth in due time, just like I did. And so if you have a need to reach out to me, which many of you have, and I'm so grateful for you. When you do reach out, you can call me at 407-373-5959. You can call me, leave a message, or text me. So today we are talking about discovering your vision and your purpose. And before we went on the break, we talked about career finance education and the fact that we need to create balance. We're more than just our career. Who are you? Well, I am a controller. I'm a lawyer. I'm an engineer. I'm a mom. I'm a teacher. No, you're more than that. Who are you? That's what you do. That's some of the things you do, because you can do something in every single quadrant. So the next quadrant is your mind, body, spirit quadrant. Some of you are really great. You look good in the mirror. You're really buff. You've got the body all taken care of. But what about your limitations? What about your spirit? Have you neglected your spirit? What about your mind? What do you want for your mind? So as we work together as a coach, my clients, we talk about what do you want? Now, when it comes to certain things, this particular quadrant, you want to know how much by when. So if you have a bucket list on there and you want to work on this bucket list, by when? Because if we don't have a by when, then there's no time. But there is time, because you don't know when you'll be gone. So when is it that you're going to achieve this? If you want to release weight, by the way, never lose weight. Because what you do is when you lose weight, when you lose your keys, you find them. So release it, let it go. But the only way you can do that is if you're willing to do the work. What is going on? What kind of a mindset do I want? Where do I need to heal? What are some of the parts of my life that need healing? I work with that and work with you to dig deeper, to take out your soul shovel and dig deeper. I was talking to Brian off the air and I was saying, I'm a pile driver. I'm like that truck that moves dirt from one end to the other. And that's okay, especially if you look at that dirt without judgment. 2 + 2 = 4. No emotion attached to it. So when you are in this quadrant and you're working on this quadrant, make sure you're taking good care of yourself. That's part of that quadrant, mind, body, spirit, not just one aspect of you. There's so many different aspects in that one little quadrant. So then the next quadrant that we're going to look at is the relationship side. What are the relationships that mean the most to you? What are the relationships that need healing? What kind of relationships do you want to achieve? These are all questions that if you truly are a curious student willing to consider what that new truth is, just like the people that thought that the earth was flat, learned a new truth, learn that new truth for yourself. What is it that you want? But remember, with the mind, body, spirit, you want to know how much by when as well. Relationships. What are the relationships that need healing? Right now, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going through a situation with somebody I know. For some reason, I know they're avoiding me. I know there's something that's wrong. Now I can say, oh, that's her issue. She has an issue. She has an issue. But instead, I wrote a letter saying, 2 plus 2 is equaling 5. Am I correct on this assumption? I want to, if for some reason you perceive anything I said, I would love the opportunity to talk to you about it. I want to heal our relationship. Are you willing to do that? Yeah, you got to get rid of your ego. You got to get rid of the ego. The ego wants you to look good, be in control, be right, and stay comfortable. If you are dealing with any relationship and you're having that conversation of, man, I'm angry because of what you're saying, is because you want to look good. You want to look good. It may be a truth, it may be false, but there are different ways to talk about it without experiencing that anger that comes from the ego, the justifiable anger that we hear about. So I could be right about what is going on, but am I willing to be right and be miserable? Or am I willing to say, that is your truth? Now this is my truth. Can we agree that we're not going to change each other's perspective? Can we agree to just be friends and love each other unconditionally? Are you willing to write a love letter to someone and say, I really miss you. I miss what we had. Now, here's the exception. If that relationship is abusive in any way, you can love that person from afar. How do you know you're loving truly from afar? Whenever you think about that person, if you get a gut, I'm a throw up kind of gut feeling, then you're not really loving from afar. So a little tip on loving from afar is you send them love. You send them peace. You send them joy. You wish them well. And you go through that every day until that feeling goes away. And then when you think about them or they're in the room with you or whatever, you don't deal with that anger anymore. You see them as a child that didn't know any better or could do any better, but you don't condone it because there's a difference between trust and forgiveness. So who is it that you need to forgive? How do you clear up these relationships? So here we go. Now, this is going to be a quick bird's eye view. You can always sit with this recording, with a video, and work with yourself and pause it and answer these questions. You could also reach out to me at 407-373-5959. So that is part of relationships. And unfortunately, ego plays a key role in everything we do. So far, we've talked about career, finance, education. We talked about mind, body, spirit, and just finished talking about relationship. So the last quadrant that we need to deal with is contribution. How do we want to be remembered? And this is the conversation. I hope if this isn't making sense to you, please text me, 407-373-5959, or call me. Leave me a message. I'll listen to it during the break. So I want to encourage you to love yourself enough to be bold and address any of these questions that we've presented. Okay, and we're going to continue our conversation worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. Okay, so earlier in the broadcast, I was talking to you about this little bruise here. And for those of you who fast forward and you're looking at this bruise, you may have to go back. Okay, so I was told that I could have a pulmonary embolism because I was also coughing, and I can't straighten out my arm. So that seed was planted in me that there was something wrong. I tried to ignore it. I said, you know what? I'm fine. I'm well. But how many people have died because they have not listened to people that have a higher education or whatever? I knew I needed to deal with this. I knew. So I went to the emergency room. I was there till 9 o'clock at night. Thank God the doctor was like, okay, you're not presenting. He goes, I'm an ER doctor. I see this in, day out. You don't present as a person who has pulmonary embolism. Yes, you have a cough. Yes, you have soreness in your arm, but your risk is minor. But I still want to do one test. How many times in our life do we go through that one test? We just need to be okay. We just need to know that I don't have a clot in my arm that can go into my lungs, that can kill me prematurely. We got to listen to the signs in our body. This is a symptom. I am well, but my arm is saying there's something else that's going on. These are the times that we get to listen to our body. And I also listen to an expert. Now, I was hoping that my time at the ER was a waste of my time. And I was absolutely right. It was a waste of my time. Good for me. And when I say waste of my time, is there was nothing wrong. I was grateful that there was nothing wrong. But when a seed is planted in you, you owe it to yourself to look deep within you, deep within you, and say, why do I believe this? Who planted this seed? What is the voice in my head that keeps telling me there's something wrong? You owe it to yourself to discover if there's anything wrong. Once you discover there's nothing wrong, or that was a limiting belief that you are much greater than you were created to be, then it's time to soar. It's time to leave the past behind you, and it is time to move forward and soar. If you're unwilling to forgive, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Who dies is you. It's time to live. And if in your relationships you're having some issues with your relationships, it's time to decide, what am I willing to do? How can I build that relationship? And if they choose not to go there with you, that's their issue. But you've done everything possible to build it. Okay, I hear the music. It's time to go back to the show, because this is like a show within a show. Here we go.
You can text Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
And welcome back to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, where we always learn from one another. I want to encourage you to go through life with childlike wonder, but I want you to look at yourself not like a child that's throwing a tantrum. I want to encourage you to look at yourself with curiosity. The same curiosity you take when you are given a challenge at work, or when you want to discover how to be a better you, or how to build a better relationship. Because, every single one of us is more than just one-sided. I'm not just a radio show host. I own a marketing company. I write for Florida Today. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a friend. I'm a lover. What's that song called? Can I say that can I say the name of that song? Brian doesn't even know what that song is called, but it starts with a B. Oh, okay, you do know it. Oh, I can't say it. Okay, I've been told that I can't say the song, but I'm a wife, I'm a lover, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner, and so those are all who we are. We have got, or we get to embrace every single aspect of who we are. It's the moment we plant that limitation, that belief is wrong or that belief is right. Therefore, I'm going to attach to the ego and say, I'm going to be right about my belief. I am not good enough. Yay, I'm going to spend the rest of my life not being good enough. And I'm going to blame you for not being good enough. Stop it. Just stop it. It is time to embrace every aspect of who you are. Your mind, your body, your spirit, your career, finance, education, your relationships, and finally, contribution. Listen, if you are a taker and all you find yourself is going to people's houses, going to people's parties, going to people's catching a ride with somebody else's, what are you doing to give back? How are you giving back? Are you a taker? Or are you just giving until there's nothing left and you are completely emotionally bankrupt? What do you want when it comes to contribution? How do you contribute in your relationships? How do you contribute in your cities, in your communities, in the world, in the nation? Everybody has. We're different parts of the body. We're different parts of the body. Are you the mouth? Are you the feet? Are you the provider? What are you doing to contribute to society? That is so important. But here we go. Moving forward. We're sitting at your funeral. People are sitting there. They're talking about you. What do you want people to say about you? How do you want people to remember you? Because after you're gone, it's only your legacy that people remember you. I was sharing with my husband the other day, when I'm gone, even if my kids don't listen to me today, maybe someday they'll listen to my videos or watch my videos or listen to my show. Maybe that'll give them comfort when they're ready for whatever it is that they're ready for. That gives me comfort to know that I may be making a difference, not to my children, but to anyone, a stranger, someone who's listening today. You stumbled upon my radio show. Yes, that is not an accident. Listen. What is your body telling you? What is it that you want from your life? What are you willing to do to achieve it? So here we go. That is how you discover your purpose. Because when you start writing it down and you start looking at your life this way, then you say, I've been looking at what I don't want. This is what I want. Look at it. It's right here in paper. I want this for my life. Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Yeah, but I can't get uncomfortable. Here we go with the ego. What are you willing to do to achieve it? Oh, well, I can't give up control of my business, or I can't give up control of that because, excuse me, because if somebody else does it better than me, then what are they going to think about me? As it goes the ego. Being in control, being right, being comfortable, looking good. Can you risk? Can you accept, embrace? Can you become a serious, curious student of life? What you want. Don't tell me what you don't want, because when you focus on what you don't want, you get more of what you don't want. All your energy is focused on fear. All your energy is focused on what you don't want. All your energy is focused on fill in the blank. So the best way, if you're saying to me, I don't know what I want, then you are unwilling to do this exercise with me. Would you consider doing this exercise with me just to discover if you could find your passion or your vision? If you are unhappy right now, congratulations! Your body is speaking to you. Something is wrong. Now, is that something that is wrong, that everybody's doing you wrong song? Then that's the ego. You will know, because true joy, true happiness, you can't make that up. You can't buy it. And by the way, part of that mind, body, spirit quadrant is about health, nutrition. We talk about it. If you look at the Lillian McDermott radio show and you look at everything that we talk about, you go to my previous shows, you will see that we talk about every single quadrant. So every day we are working on a quadrant when I have a guest. That mind, body, spirit quadrant is important, but it is not the end all be all, because we have got to find that balance We get to find that balance. Because if we don't find that balance, we will find ourselves emotionally bankrupt. So you're not willing to give up something. You're not willing to give up good your cookies or your sodas or your cigarettes. You're not willing to give that up. How about embracing what you want, which is good health? Because ultimately, that doesn't matter. If you have a bajillion, gazillion dollars in the bank, if you don't have your health, you're out of balance. There's a Chinese or a Chinese proverb or an Indian proverb that goes, a healthy man has 1,000,000 dreams or 1,000 dreams. An unhealthy person has one dream, which is to be healthy. It is important that you dive into these 4 quadrants: career, finance, education, mind, body, spirit, relationships, and contribution. When you start diving into all these 4, and I'm sure you probably have more, stick it in there. One of those quadrants. It might belong in one of those quadrants anyway. What do you want? But there's that person that says, I would do anything. I would do anything, but I can't do that. I won't give up my meat. I won't give up my cigarettes. And the explanation of insanity is doing the same things over and over, expecting a different result. As we enter into the new year, what are you willing to do to change that behavior of over and over and over again? So, we're coming to almost the end of the show. Does anything make sense to you? Have I said anything that has spoken to your spirit, to your body? Let me know. Call 407-373-5959 if you're listening. If right now you're listening, but you're listening halfway because you're driving or because you've got somebody screaming in the background, then pick this video of all the videos and sit with me. Go to YouTube, go to Facebook, go to anywhere, Lillian McDermott Radio Show. So go to whenyouneedafriend.com and pull it out. And when nobody's watching, and when you don't have to take off that mask, when you can just take off that mask and be who you say you are, do that work. If you need extra help, then call me, 407-373-5959. It's time to rip off the mask, feel your spirit, and act accordingly to what you need. What is the condition of your spirit? Dive in. Just love yourself. Please remember, I'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. Okay. Brian, feedback. Did it make sense to you? Do I need to go over with the recording afterwards? Do I need to go over anything that I need to be a little bit more clear on? Was there anything you need more clarity on?
Not really, but you can keep the recording going if you want. I have to run. I have to go pick up my girlfriend.
I know. I got it. Okay. So, thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. And so for those of you who are still hanging on after the show and you want to get a little bit of tidbits, I said, love you, please, wish you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. That is what I normally wish when I'm going through this, but yeah, they did this to me. They don't deserve my love. No, but I deserve my love. And the moment hate enters into your heart, it will corrupt you. It is so important that if you feel hate towards somebody right now, that work that you want to do on yourself, it's like going backwards. So I want to encourage you to forgive. One of the main things that we talk about on the show, I've written articles on this. You can find all of that if you go to whenyouneedafriend.com. Dive into all the different things. You can do this for free. Just pull out any of my shows, pull out this video, whatever, listen to it over and over again. You might catch something new each time, or you might need clarification. Text me, 407-373-5959. So one thing that I want to share about forgiveness, and I think it's very crucial, because lack of forgiveness will lead to disease in your body. And as I mentioned before on the show, at first, forgiving someone may feel uncomfortable. But just like everything, if you that's coming from your ego, just like everything, getting outside your comfort zone. Once you get out your comfort zone, you feel more comfortable in your comfort zone. So getting outside your comfort zone might become your comfort zone. So I want to share a story of a person that really deeply hurt me. Because they are a member of my family, I feel that it is important that if I want to be a part of my family, I needed to do this work quickly. I couldn't let it linger on. I know people that haven't spoken to other people because of an argument that was silly for 20 years, and then they die and they wish they could take the 20 years back. But this is crucial. Forgiveness is so crucial. But keeping in mind that forgiveness and trust are two totally different things. Just because you forgave somebody doesn't mean you allow them back into your life to hurt you, especially if they haven't earned your trust. This is crucial. That lesson is crucial. So with forgiveness, there was someone who hurt me very deeply a long time ago. And I had every right to be angry. I had every right to not speak to this person for the rest of my life. But I knew that that would ultimately hurt me and hurt my spirit. So I chose to forgive. At first, wishing somebody love, peace, joy, and sending them well, I would think about them. I knew I was well when I could think about them and love them. Love them for who they are, not for what they did. I don't know if that makes sense. But loving someone for who they are is different than what they did. If they hurt me, and maybe that's a percentage of our relationship, I could focus on the fact that they hurt me, or I can focus on the other parts. Maybe it was a disagreement. Maybe I was responsible. Go through the 100% responsibility. How did I create it? What were the gifts and lessons? What's going to be different? And the last question is, how can I use this to help others? And so I hope I went through that through the video, or you can go to 100% responsibility page at whenyouneedafriend.com. So I started thinking about the person and wishing them well. I would visualize them doing something and wishing them success. I wanted them to be financially profitable. I wanted them to be happy. I wanted them, and what you wish for will come back to you. So if you wish them harm, guess what? Harm will come back to you. If you wish them well, guess what? Wellness will come back to you. So if anything, be selfish about it. Forgive because you want forgiveness. Forgive because you know that what you wish onto somebody, even your enemies, will come back to help you heal. And that is worth diamonds, gold, platinum. What are you willing to do to live the life that you want? Only you can answer that. If you need any help, you know where to find me. If you don't, and you can do this on your own, let me know. Let me know how this lesson helped you in any way. And always remember, I'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. And I wish you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. Mwah.